It's late November in Chattanooga. That means football continues, playoff style, as Weber State and Chattanooga get together next. The NCAAF FCS first round is presented by Northwestern Mutual. Big Sky and Southern Conference, the SoCon get together today. First ever meeting between Weber State and Chattanooga. The winner of this first round showdown gets a crack at Sam Houston State, averaging well over 45 points a game. That's next week. But first things first, Jim Barber, Watson Brown, who starred as a coach and a player in the Southeast Conference. And yesterday's atmosphere was kind of interesting. One team was playing touch football in a walkthrough. The other one was businesslike.
A lot of ways to skin a cat.
Yeah.
But it's serious. It's fun. You get in the playoffs, it's one and done. These two teams understand that. They'll be ready to play today.
Yeah, Jadrian Clark is going to lead Weber State. He's ready to go, and he is a big boy.
Oh, he's a good football player. He's the leader of the team. He's in the top 20 in the country in passing and total offense. He is the playmaker of this team. He's got to have a great day.
He is going to face on the other end a couple of really fine defensive players. Player of the year on the left and first teamer on the right.
Yes, both are great players. Davis is a fantastic pass rusher, strong, fast, very quick off the football. Leslie makes plays all over the place. He's a great field player, great athlete, great tackler.
How good were Davis and Leslie last week, Watson? Well, they were so good against Alabama that the coordinator of the offense, Lane Kiffin, called Chattanooga during the week and said, "How did you do what you did?"
You know you're pretty good when that happens.
Oh, yeah.
And it gives Chattanooga a lot of confidence coming into this football game today.
In fact, number 1 in the country FCS defense, 6th total defense, number 8 scoring defense. Bama kept its starters out on offense most of the game.
They never got control of the game against the Chattanooga defense. It really surprised me. It lets you know how good these guys are.
Chattanooga is a 2-touchdown favorite as they match up against Weber State. We'll know a little bit more about the Oddsmakers when we get this game going between the SoCon and Weber State from Big Sky. He is Chattanooga's favorite son, the late Reggie White. He played high school football here, then on to the University of Tennessee, then on to a great career in the National Football League. As we welcome you back in live, sun-kissed afternoon, temperatures low 60s, lots of wind, great afternoon and early evening for college football. Jay Hill, year 3 as the head coach of Weber State. Each year a little better, 2-10 in 2014, then 6-5, now 7-4. And Russ Huseman, well, he's been there, done that. Last year, got the team through the first round of the playoffs, winning at home over Fordham, then losing a heartbreaker against Jacksonville State. Year number 8, record 58-36. White uniforms and the dark pants belong to the visitors from snowy Ogden, Utah, where a couple inches of snow have hit that area. Salt Lake has been rocked here today. We're going to get up to the 60s. Right now in the 50s. Sunny forecast. The mountains look gorgeous today, Watson. We must be in the south somewhere.
Oh, is this beautiful. It is a beautiful day. They couldn't ask for a better day in Tennessee for the first round of the playoffs.
Weber State will kick off. For Cadre Bagley is 23. He is deep along with 8 C.J. Board. Let's take a look at Taylor Heights, number 47. Freshman from the state of Utah. If there's a difference in this game, and it may be notable, it's the speed. As one team, the Mocs seem to have a little bit more of that than Weber State. But that's why we're going to play today, to find out a little bit more. Heights runs up to the football, and we are off. C.J. Board from the 4. Had a steam, 25-30. Nice return to the 30-yard line for a carry of 26. And Alejandro Benefield set to lead the offense of the Chattanooga Mocs. He was the backup last year to Jacob Huseman. He's hoping to get a spot in the National Football League, the coach's son. It led them to a lot of wins and a lot of coverage. 2,173 yards for Benefield with 23 touchdowns And he also can run the football as well, Watson, so let's see what happens with those legs.
He's very important to him. He's got to have a great day also, in my opinion.
He'll start from the 29-yard line on the very first play from scrimmage.
I think we'll see a bunch of Derek Crane today. There's no doubt about it. He is a very important person. He's one of the leaders of this team. Coach Huseman just thinks the world of him. A senior that's been playing a lot of football at UTC.
Gets 3 on the first play. LeGrand Toya from his Mike linebacker spot to make the tackles. You look at Benefield, who last year was part of a really nifty double pass during the playoffs. Running the football back-to-back will set up a 3rd and roughly 5 yards for the first down.
This is a big 3rd down right here to start the game for Weber especially. If they could get a stop and get a little confidence here early in the game. I think they really need to play well early, hang in here, move the ball well themselves when they get it. So this is a big play, I think, for Weber to start the game.
Just brought in James Stovall, line up to the right of the quarterback, and now they'll move him in position, almost like a 2 backfield here for the quarterback, and the throw in the backfield is a successful one, first down up to midfield. Brought in Stovall. Stovall makes the first reception of the day, and he gets it good for 15 yards and the first down.
Beautiful play, well executed. Timing of the play was perfect. Ball was let go before Stovall even turned his head around. Great start for the Mocs. Jim already at midfield. Weber State needs to get a stop here. They're already bearing down on them.
Give to Crane. Now stretches it to midfield. Let's take a look at our impact players. Derek Crane, the running back, and Trayvon Johnson, the linebacker. They likely will come head-to-head as this game progresses.
They're just both outstanding players for their team. Johnson is just all over the field also as a linebacker. He's got to have a big day today.
Crane comes in having rushed for 808 yards. Throw out to the flat, pass caught. Official spot will be inside the 45-yard line on the catch by Xavier Borashati. And that's his 39th reception of the season. It'll be 3rd and manageable, 3rd at about 3.
Very smart by the Chattanooga coaches. Benefield's first 2 throws to his left. He's left-handed. Give him a little confidence. Short throws. Big 3rd down again for Weber State right here.
We'll move Stovall, coach, and Borashati to the right. C.J. Board, one of the receivers, to the near side along with Alfonso Stewart. So it's a 4-receiver set as Stovall in the slot now moves over to position on the near side of 3-by-1. And it's a give straight ahead. So a lot of motion, a lot of misdirection fakes, and you just give it to your running back, let him do the work.
Just a straight zone play. That defensive end's in a tough spot right there. He's got to take the quarterback or the dive, and well blocked inside. Nice drive by the Mocs to start the football game.
Harder Milan makes the tackle, but not before Crane gets the first down to the 39-yard line. So this opening drive has already chewed up 3 minutes. Four representatives from the Southern Conference, 4 from the Big Sky in the playoffs. Benefield keeps the football, breaks a tackle, gets to the 34-yard line, and a pickup on first down of 5.
Well, they're just keeping the chains moving, and they're doing well on first down. I think that's the 3rd series in a row, first down in a row that they've put it really in second and handleable, meaning do what you want, run or throw.
Yeah, it's talked about staying on schedule. Bagley into the secondary, picks up the first down and the carry to the 27. That's a rush of 9 yards for the junior running back out of Powder Springs, Georgia.
I think this is the toughest thing on Weber State today, is handling these space plays. This is what I call the speed power play, and it's a misdirection where they're running the counter one way, take the running back and go the other. They're going to have to tackle well in space today with these fast backs.
That was 98 Adam Lewis that came up with a tackle, but not before the first down was accomplished. 10:45, opening quarter. Benefield to throw. It's got a man wide open. Incomplete. Usually when you have a solid running game, as the Mocs have demonstrated, he could do some play action, and Bagley was there, couldn't hold it in.
Just a little bit overthrown, still very catchable football. I'm sure they would love to have that one back. Again, nice misdirection. You see that Weber State is up playing the run. They got the one-on-one, and the safety didn't get there over the top. Should have been a score.
Lekio Pope, 97 from that defensive line, was applying some of the pressure. 2nd and 10. Well, what do you think about this Mocs opening drive?
It's great. This is the first time they've been in a 2nd and long since the drive started.
Yeah, it is unusual territory. Straight drop back for Benefield. Forced out of the pocket. He'll roll. 25, 20, and out of bounds. Alejandro Benefield replacing Jake Huseman, who used up his eligibility after Game 2 of the playoffs last year, carrying the football inside the 20.
You know, Jim, I think there's a lot of pressure been on Benefield this year. It's been to have a 2-time player of the year and Jacob Huseman, the coach's son, and you have to take over. Most of the offense was back, and just a change at quarterback. He has handled that pressure so well. He's had a fantastic year.
Yeah, it's well said, and Dad says he misses his son in practice, in the meetings, but son still lives at home, hoping for a shot at the big leagues. On 3rd and 1, it's Crane straight ahead, 1st down.
Again, 3rd and short. That's all it's been on this whole drive. Eating clock. Nice slow drive down the field, wearing Weber State down a little bit as it goes. It couldn't happen any better for them.
They now spot the football at the 16-yard line.
Now finish the drive. You have a nice drive down here. You've got to get this thing in the end zone. This is where college football games are won, inside the 20.
Well, today at Ohio State and Michigan, opening drive for the Buckeyes went 77 yards, resulted in no points. Straight ahead, Benefield headed to the end zone, touchdown. What a move.
That's exactly where I think that Weber State's going to have a tough time. Space plays, tackling these guys in the open field. Very quick. Benefield's very athletic, and every opportunity that Weber State's had so far, they've missed tackles in space.
And for Benefield, his 6th touchdown running the football of the season. Enrique Ribeiro with the extra point, his 47th of the year. What a good-looking opening drive in which they were forced to the 3rd and long just a couple of times.
It's what we call a speed power play. You can hand it to the back, speeding across, keep it yourself. He's reading a defensive end there. The end ran upfield for the dive back. He kept it and took it into the end zone.
Chattanooga 3 for 3 on 1st downs on the drive.
Exactly what the doctor ordered for the Mocs. There's no doubt about it. They want to jump on this bunch quick if they can, not let them get confidence. It worked perfect for them. Other than the missed pass on the long pass for a score, that was a very well executed drive.
Let's take a look at how Weber State plans for success, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. Didn't plan to be down 7-0 in this game, but that's exactly what has happened. And yet staying on schedule will be important for Weber today. They got to handle the defense, and they must get their all-world tight end involved today, Coach.
Yes, and they're off to a poor start with that. Defensively, they did not handle the Mocs in the first drive, and which puts you a little behind schedule. They need to answer right now, Jim. They need to come back with a nice drive themselves.
Corey Thompson not giving it a go today. Even despite that, they're going to keep the ball away from it being deep. And then that short kickoff, which was by design by Huseman and the Mocs. The return is up near the 30-yard line.
Very nice kick by Ribeiro. Very nice kick. Once they see Thompson's not back there, they may go back and start kicking it deep again. We'll see as the game goes on.
Yeah, that's a good point, because Thompson's had that shoulder injury. He's a dangerous threat to bring the ball back all the way. And again, he's not giving it a go so far. And Jadrian Clark gets his opportunity now. We highlighted him a little bit earlier in the broadcast, and now we'll see if they can make something happen on this series. Going to stand a man in motion on the jet sweep, running to the near side. And a nice open field tackle. You talk about the speed of this defense, and I think you got a chance to see it right there. As Nikivion Leslie, we highlighted at the beginning of our broadcast, runs point to point to make the stop.
I think those are tough plays to run against the Mock defense, those sideline to sideline plays. They're going to have to go right at them when they run the ball, in my opinion, and pass the ball very well today.
Gets a tackle for loss there. As you see by the numbers, he averages 4.5 on the season. 92 tackles overall. 2nd and 10. Clark over the middle. He's got a man. First down at the 48-yard line. Andrew Vollert is going to be a popular target today, and that's his 58th catch of the year.
Oh, he is a player. Coach Hill says he's the best tight end in FCS football. He may be right. He can block, he can run, he can catch. He is a really good football player. He will need a great game today, but that's what I think they got to do right there. They're going to have to beat the Mocs with the passing game.
And Dale Warren from his Sam linebacker spot is going to have his hands full today. 1st and 10, now at the 48 of the Wildcats. And the 2nd tackle for loss.
Nice play by Justin King right there. Their defensive front, and that's what Chattanooga has beaten you with the last 3 or 4 years in a row. Their defensive line has just been one of the better ones in FCS football again this year. They're inside players. They're 2 defensive ends. Fantastic foursome right here.
Hey, think about it again. Didn't manhandle Alabama's offense, but kept it at bay. And again, forced Nick Saban starters to play the entire football game, which really was unheard of.
Well, and handled that powerful offensive line that Alabama has.
And 2nd 11 up in the air and nearly picked. That would have been the original line of scrimmage. 99, Justin King nearly got the pick as Dale Warren broke up the pass to the line of scrimmage.
That would have been 2 nice plays by Justin in a row. Use those hands, baby. You might have had you one right there. He's upset about it.
There's the education major running off the field. Now it is 3rd and long. 3rd and predictable, as coaches call it. Tough spot for Clark on this opening drive. Looks like he may be changing the play. Play clock at 4. Clark looking over the middle, incomplete. He was going to shoot it to Vollert again. Vollert thought he was held, but it goes as an incompleted pass. Lucas Webb, the free safety, got in the middle of everything, along with Nettles.
Excuse me, Jim, a little surprising there. They brought an all-out blitz right out the gate. Chattanooga is not a blitz team. They brought 6 guys and played pure man in the secondary, covered them very well, made Clark get rid of the ball quickly.
Jacob DeMille will punt. CJ Board, number 8, will return. 7-0 favoring the Mocs as they took an opening drive and went 71 yards for a score. High end over end kick. Board into the sunshine. We'll let it bounce. Caught at the 9-yard line. The playoffs are on. The Mocs have the early lead. The score is 7-0 as Alejandro Benefield showed some of his footwork. Then the defense has taken it from there. In the first round of the playoffs last year, the Mocs beat Fordham here at home by a bunch, 51-20, and lost to Jacksonville State on the final play of the game in week number 2. So far, good start for Chattanooga, leading 7-0. Back on offense with Watson Brown, Jim Barber today on E3. As the 2014 playoffs have officially begun.
I think Weber State's just got to do a better job on first down. Here it is, 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5.5. They're gaining too much on first down, and they really get to control what they want to do. I'm talking about the Mocs. Getting to throw, run here on 2nd down, kind of do what they want. Weber State's got to get more control on the first play of the series and on every first down.
And this is year 3 for the Mocs in the playoffs consecutively, so sometimes getting through any opening jitters a little easier for the team with some experience. From the shotgun, Benefield to Crane into that secondary. Now it's a race to the 47-yard line. Wow, that's a pickup of 34 and another first down for the senior running back out of Georgia.
Just a straight zone play, and if they can get the inside game going, they're going to be tough to stop. Crane is an outstanding player, can run over you, can run around you. That's not a good sign there when they break one big hole in the middle of the line like that.
Josh Burton may have saved the touchdown right there with a tackle. Now out to the flat. And a quick catch by Boris Shoddy for his 2nd reception of the game, his 40th of the year. Tackle made by Dre Snowden. So already that secondary, Watson is being put to task.
It is. The spacing is hurting them, and they're still struggling with first down.
2nd and 4, fake the Crane, Benefield over the middle. Had a receiver at the 20-yard line, overshot him. That was intended for Alfonso Stewart. But not a whole lot lost there to bring up your valid point. If you gain 6 or 7 on first down, take some shots down the field.
And it's smart to do that. They'll run some on second down. They're taking some shots on second down. They've still got third and a very doable situation here.
Jeff Durden's the offensive coordinator. He's been with Russ Huseman for a while here, and is a good one. Offense that typically loves to run the football, but the run and pass are almost equal in yardage, combining for over 400. A little option here. The Crane, look at the space he's got. Crane inside the 30 to the 26, and a pickup of 15, and now 4 for 4 on third downs.
Well executed football play. They caught Weber State man coverage, ran just a straight down the line option, got the linebackers blocked inside. Crane's just in space by himself.
Have an injured player on the far side of the field near the Weber State bench. Could be 85 James Stovall, but we will try to get validation. And that is Stovall. It's from Cleveland, Tennessee, about 45 minutes away from campus. We'll step aside, check on his injury in a moment. Jim Barber, Watson Brown, who as a coach and player beat Alabama, Penn State, and LSU at one time.
That's right.
That's pretty impressive.
I don't forget those. We'll forget the losses. Can we do that?
We could.
Can we get rid of those? Oh, me.
Ball start. Offense. Number 56. 5-yard penalty. Still, first down.
It's on Malcolm White. Our referee today is Hank Johns. It's an officiating crew from the Colonial Athletic Association. Umpire is Corey Williams Sr. Head linesman Mark Tarleton. The line judge Daniel Donemeyer. Jerry Walker is the side judge replacing Hugh Bentley. Field judge is Scott Wolpert. Back judge Steve Toll. And a replay Bob Sokolowski. 1st and 15. From the Weber State 31, Benefield over the middle. He'll get 5 of those yards, maybe 6 of those back on a short passing play. Trayvon Johnson with the tackle. Saw James Stovall, who went out of the game earlier. That's Malcolm Colvin, who made the reception there. And they're actually going to give him credit for 7. So he gets 7 of the 15, almost half of it back.
Which was nice. That's a nice first down play, getting it back. 2nd down and 8. Still in a run-pass situation right here.
Benefield still from the shotgun. Rolling to the near side, still looking, nobody to throw to. Then finally a release, and incomplete intended in the end zone for Xavier Borashati, who tried to get a foot on the defender, but nobody bought the fake, and therefore Benefield had to throw at the last second.
You know, that was closer than you think. Benefield's throwing that ball away, and it hung up long enough. Borashati nearly got back to it.
You're right.
And he was just basically throwing that thing in the stands.
Okay, you get to be OC here, the offensive coordinator. What do you like on third down?
Thanks a lot. Give me the 3rd and long calls. I'd throw it to one of those 2 wideouts. Those 2 guys are pretty good.
Okay.
And we'll see what they do right here. But they're in a spread set, and I think they're going to go to one of them.
Benefield's looking their way, now firing, a man out of the backfield. Nobody picked him up. It's going to be a first down and a touchdown. However, C.J. Board to the end zone is likely to be brought back as a flag was thrown by the side judge at about the 6. Usually that's against the offense, but we'll see.
Holding. Offense. Number 12. 10-yard penalty. Still, 3rd down.
I don't know if you could pick up Borashati on our microphones down there, but
probably don't want to.
No, he had a word or 2 of the officials say, hey, what about so-and-so?
Well, that's too bad, too, because that was a nice play. They caught a deep zone drop threw it underneath the board. Nice run and tough holding call right there.
Negates the touchdown, brings us back to 3rd and 4 from the 20. Late first quarter, Mocs leading 7-0, looking for more over the middle. That's a touchdown. A rifled Alfonso Stewart. His first touchdown reception of the year and a 2-touchdown Mocs lead.
They're pretty much doing what they want right now. They run, they throw, they can do whatever they want to do. Benefield is really on right now. Beautiful timing, kind of a slant route across the middle. Weber State plays a lot of man coverage, and they're really struggling covering these wideouts right now.
It's still early in our game, but head coach of the Mocs, Rush Huseman, said, I took a peek at next week. Who knows, maybe they're en route to Sam Houston State. So in your 17-0 hole, you're not handling the ball very well. How do you get out of this, Watson?
You've got to move the football. They've got to get some points on this drive to get back in it. Good start right there.
Drew Batchelor, the receiver, takes the football from the 17 across the 30. And a carry and catch of 14, and that'll help.
And I think they need to do some of that. They caught the Mocs in the zone coverage here. Drop the ball underneath. Let these receivers get going a little bit. They got to do something to gain some confidence. They don't look settled to me so far in this football game.
Went through a short walkthrough yesterday of roughly 10 minutes after the moccasins of Chattanooga, Tennessee went through theirs prior to that. 1st and 10, straight dive play there for maybe a yard.
Good to see Garrett back in the game. Hopefully he's okay. They really need him to have a good game today also, and he's just not getting much now. All the pressure goes right back to Clark. He's got to start making some throws, and the receivers have got to help him a little more. So the last little underneath throw, I haven't seen a whole lot of open guys.
Keontae Davis with a tackle on the play, 2nd and 9. 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Weber State already a 17-0 hole. Little end around. That's not going anywhere. Turf Monster got a hold of Darrell Denby, and then Vantrell McMillan cemented the play and a loss all the way back down to the 23.
Yep, those space plays are just tough to run against the Mocs, and again put themselves in a tough 3rd and long situation. We've already talked about that too much already in this ballgame, just in the first quarter and start of the second quarter here.
Well, if you don't have the speed of the opposition, you got to find a way to counter somehow.
Yes, you do, and I just think they're going to have to throw the football most of the day to have any shot.
They'll do it on 3rd and 18. That was intended for Denby. That was in the backfield. Wasn't going anywhere. Keontae Davis was in the neighborhood again. 93, that's a reason he's player of the year in the conference. He's been everywhere so far.
He's everywhere, and those all-out pass downs, those guys just lower those heads and getting those Greyhound rush dances and come after you. They've got to do better on 1st and 2nd down.
Second punt of the game for DeMaio. And it's a dandy. C.J. Board's got to chase it back at his 20. Makes one man miss and is dragged down to the 10. What a terrific punt and coverage by Weber State. 11.5 for the first half, 17-0 in favor of the Mocs. Number 1 pass defense in FCS is limited on the whole, passing and rushing, just 46 yards to Weber State. Jim Barber, the coach, Watson Brown. The start of this series is deep in UTC territory, poor starting position, but all they got to do is hand it off to a running back and they can get yardage in a hurry as Derek Crane carries near the sticks on 1st down.
I've said from the beginning, if they're running well off tackle, they're going to be about impossible to stop. And they've gotten off to a good start doing that. Crane has had some nice runs right straight up the middle of the Weber State defense.
Rayshawn Henderson, the backup defensive tackle, gets credit for the tackle on the play. It is now 2nd and 1. You can do a lot with this down. And a good defensive play there to prevent Crane from getting the first down. And in fact, there's a loss on the play, so that'll bring it to third down as Adam Lewis came up and just slammed into the turf.
They need to do that on first down some. It's still third down in a very short situation for Chattanooga. But that's a nice sign. It was a nice football play there. He just completely whipped the offensive lineman in front of him, made a nice play.
So the tackle for loss, it brings us to a 3rd and 2, 10.5 to go in a fast-moving first half. Great to have you along on ESPN today, the start of the FCS playoffs. Benefield throwing out of the backfield. Bagley breaks a tackle. He's got the first down to the 30-yard line. There is a flag at the end of the play, and that's going to be against Tennessee Chattanooga.
That's twice.
Offense, number 9. 10-yard penalty, still third down.
It's on Alfonso Stewart.
Yeah, it's twice they've gotten their wide receivers in space for holding. And again, nice. Bagley made a guy miss, got the first down. The space plays are hurting. They got to stop hurting themselves with these wide receiver penalties.
Yeah, anything the wideouts are doing here that's bringing about the holding?
I think the only thing I'm seeing is the hands are just a little wide. They got to get them back inside to those numbers, and they're holding on a little too long. They'll let you do that a little bit early, but you've got to let go, especially when the guy that's got the ball gets close to you.
So Watson, instead of 1st and 10, 3rd and 5. 2 receivers set, both to the near side. Benefield facing the blitz, got rid of it. Nice play by Alejandro Benefield to get rid of the football as pressure was coming on. And with the release to Bagley, he gets it all the way to the 33, a pickup of 16, and a first down before Trayvon Johnson stopped the play.
You see Chattanooga does such a great job, both these 2 backs. Crane's the one that run right at you. They get Bagley in space, let him make plays. They're a great duo.
Now Benefield going to keep it himself. Into the secondary, out of bounds. Carries the football to the 48. Good enough for a pickup 15. Another first down. Josh Burton was chasing him, and right now Chattanooga is doing whatever it wants to do.
This is the kind of the outside-in power roll play. Guess we'll get a chance to see it, but again, quarterback run. It's really hurting them.
Now to C.J. Board with a screen, and Board down the sidelines. You know, there's so little territory to throw and run down the sidelines, and yet they are finding the space to do it, Watson.
Athleticism. Board is a great player. All these guys can make something happen after they catch the football.
Benefield in trouble, gets rid of it last minute. Heat being applied by Jonah Williams from his defensive end spot. Gotten to Benefield a couple of times today and nearly got the 3rd Wildcat sack.
What they tried to do right here is run the same screenplay that they just ran and fake it and throw deep off of it. Well covered by the Weber State secondary. He had nowhere to go with the ball. He held it too long. Benefield's got to let that one go, throw it out of bounds, and not take those hits he's taking.
17-0 in favor of the Mocs. Alejandro Benefield, who was biding his time last year as the eventual replacement to Jacob Huseman. Now Benefield going to throw that one away, and it's 3rd and 10. So he's had to release the ball a couple of times before he wanted to, and the pressure came from Tupaloa.
A great job by Weber State. That's what he should have done on the play before and not take the shot that he took. He carries the ball so much running with it. He's got to protect himself better in these passing situations and not take shots on drop back passes.
Alex Trotter and Ricardre Bagley are both in now. On 3rd down. Interesting backfield formation here. And that's going to go for a loss. So this drive, which had so much promise, ends with Crane falling to the turf back at the 43. Tupuola was in the neighborhood once again. And so the Mocs now must give up the ball, and Colin Brewer will get a chance to kick it away for the 2nd time.
The Mocs had a reverse pass on right there. They were going to pitch it to the receiver, pitch it back to the quarterback. Tailback fell down before he ever got to the first pitch guy. This return for the 15-yard line to the 26.
Chandler Tunney brought it back. Weber State back on offense, but trailing in the football game 17-0. ESPN's coverage of the FCS championships continued next weekend. Second round coverage on ESPN3. For more information, go to NCAA.com, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. Jim Barber, Watson Brown, Wildcats on offense. You will be with the winner of this game at Sam Houston State next week. And I'll get a chance possibly to see Villanova if Andy Talley's team wins against South Dakota State, on the road in South Dakota and Brookings.
This game stays like it is. That could be a great matchup with Sam Houston State and Chattanooga. Sam Houston scores on everybody, and Chattanooga is really good. Tell you, Jim, they're going to have to start throwing some on first down. They're running the ball on first down, not getting much, and they're putting themselves in second and third and long about every series.
To this point, Watson, 17 plays for just 50 yards on offense. Play action on second down. Clark shooting it down the field, incomplete. Penalty flag thrown. There are a couple of defenders back. The Mocs can't believe it's going to be against them, but unless there's offensive pass interference, it is likely it will be a penalty. C.J. Fritz was back defending among others.
Pass interference. Defense, number 6. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Let me ask you, as a former coach and player, how come you can always tell who the guilty party is out there?
Because they all show it immediately.
Yeah,
isn't it unbelievable? We're not very good actors. I think Fritz was just a little handsy there, in my personal opinion. I think that's a good call. They got to go after the corners. Chattanooga crowds the line of scrimmage. I think that's a good call. I'd like to see them do it on first down a little more here. And they've tried to run on first down, just hadn't gotten much out of it so far.
Well, let's see if they decide to throw here with Clark over center. Nope, back to the running game. And a pickup of maybe 3. Keontae Davis up to make the tackle. Emmanuel Pooler, who has been suffering through some injuries, giving it a go today after a carry of actually closer to 4.
That's a little better. They got it there in 2nd and 6 here. That's a little better that's one of their better early runs, first down runs of the game.
7 to go in the first half. Wildcats trying to get into Chattanooga territory. Well, able to do so in that play. They'll spot him at the 49. It'll bring us to a 3rd and 3. Well, it doesn't seem like Weber State's going to deviate any from its game plan. They still feel they've got to establish that line of scrimmage, apparently.
Yeah, they do. And if they wait too long and then the game gets out of hand and then you've got to throw, it just makes it tougher on them. They've got to get some points, and I think they got to get points on this drive. 6 minutes, score and a half.
They'll bunch the receivers to the outside. Jadrian Clark once again over center. They'll run the football here. And that's going to be enough for the first down. Good play call. It's a pickup of 5. They only need to get 3. Got it in the hands of Pooler, and that's first down.
Big play. Now let's see if they take one on them. Go for it once. I'd take one on these corners. Get one of these wideouts and just lay one up, I think.
Well, they say you got to keep the defense honest, and I suppose that would be part of the strategy to do just that.
Well, and they've gotten to the playoffs running the football and throwing it and doing both, and I think they believe it. They're just really trying to get it established. Let's see what they do here.
Play action. They will put it up on first down. Down the field. Got a man! Inside the 25-yard line. Good call there, Coach.
Exactly what they need to do. They've got to loosen this bunch up. I know how Chattanooga crowds the line of scrimmage. They love to put pressure on their corners. They went to an inside guy here with the football on a crossing route.
Drew Batchelor
Beautiful play.
On the reception to the 23. Deepest penetration for the Wildcats. You think about change of momentum. Moments ago it was 17-0 in the Mocs. We're inside the 40-yard line with a 1st and 10 of the Wildcats. They went 3 and out, had to punt the ball, and now Weber State with some life.
Very good point. That killer instinct, if they'd put that one in, it'd be 24-zip. Now all of a sudden it's Weber State driving to get back in the game. If they can put this one in, what a change in the football game.
Jay Hill, the head coach, year 3 at Weber. On 2nd and 7, this time out of the I formation. Clark back to throw, shooting into the end zone's got a man, incomplete.
Just got to connect with that. Got him open. Garrett made a nice job, did a nice job of getting up the boundary, running a wheel route right there. Little pressure in his face. That may have made him throw high. He got a free guy coming right at him. Oh, this game's a matter of inches.
So incompleted pass to Trayshawn Garrett. Pending win, we could be looking at 4-down territory here. It is 3rd and 6. Clark this time will play from the gun. Here comes the blitz. He'll step up and run. Inside the 10, slides to the 7. They'll spot him at the 8. 1st and goal. Nice play by Jadrian Clark.
Something the Mocs haven't done a lot during the year. Again, the second time I've seen them bring an all-out blitz. Complete free guy right there. Clark does a great job of dodging a free man. Knows where the chains are, gets to the 1st down marker, slides down so he can make sure he plays the next play.
Inside the red zone this year, Weber State 33 for 39 at 85%. That's in the top 40 in FCS play. Fake the jet sweep, quarterback keep. And he's not going anywhere.
First time we've seen Clark keep the ball on a quarterback run. They do that some. I think they like to do it when they get closer to the goal line, pick up that extra blocker when they can. But didn't gain very many yards. I think we're looking at a pass down right here.
Dale Warren was up to make the tackle. Isaiah Mack helped him as well. 2nd and goal. Fesi Satake, the offensive coordinator. He's got a brother that's coaching at Brigham Young, the head coach. 2nd and 10, again running the football. Surprised at the play calling here?
Yeah, a little surprised at that one. They've made their plays passing the ball. But again, this is what they've done all year. They're sticking to what they believe in. They have now put themselves in a 3rd and long, 3rd and 5 on the goal line is a lot of yards.
Down 3 scores in the game. A field goal attempt won't be a killer, but a touchdown really gives you the impression they'll have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they got to get points out of this, so the quarterback's got to take care of the football right here.
Likely a passing situation on 3rd and 5. Clark faking. He's got a man out of the backfield. Ball caught. Can he get in? No. Ball loose. Going to be returned the other way. He's going to go for a touchdown. Montrell Pardue. A turnaround of 14 points. Can you believe this?
Unbelievable play. How many times do we see guys reach the ball out trying to get it across the goal line? It gets knocked loose. And that's exactly what happens here. They would have been 4th and 1, needed points. Nice tackle right there. Good defense, good tackling, and the ball just pops loose out of there, and Pardue just takes it the distance from there. See how loose it is? He tries to stick it over the head of the Chattanooga guy, and he's a tall kid. He's a 6'5" young man. Tried to stick it across the goal line, and it ended up backfiring for a 6 the other way.
I think Pardue got the initial hit, too.
I think it was. I'd love to go back and see that again, but I think Pardue makes the tackle, picks the ball up, and takes it in and scores.
And the tight end, Andrew Vollert, arguably the best tight end in the game. There is some review likely to happen here.
The touchdown for Chattanooga is under further review.
The biggest thing, I guess, will be, was Vollert down when he made the catch? That's the only thing I would think they could hope for.
I thought they would go back and look at this. It is close down here. It's we'll see if his knees touch the ground before that ball. Watch right here. He'll put the ball over the head of the Chattanooga guy right there. Tries to reach it out. I think that's a fumble. No, that's a fumble all the way.
Yeah, you're not going to have irreversible evidence there to overturn.
But, Jim, how many times have both of us seen that in college football, NFL? We all, as coaches, try to teach, don't do that, keep that ball tucked. And he wanted 6 so bad, and it cost 6 the other way. That'll be the turning point of the football game, right?
Looks like Trevor Wright actually got the initial hit. Let's give him some credit there. He's the starting
starting corner. That was a nice tackle for a corner now on a big old 6'5" tight end.
Yep.
And then Montrell picks it up and takes it the distance.
Well, that scoop and score attitude that defenses have, you think about how good Alabama is at that. Let's take another look. There's the hit.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown, Chattanooga.
And you can see Russ Huseman in the upper part of your screen getting the confirmation he had hoped for.
Oh, that's so big. You're playing at home. You're the experienced playoff team. You've got Weber State in their first one since 2009. Just a killer football play for Weber State.
Now the extra point. It's good by Enrique Ribeiro. 24-0 Mocs. But Watson could very easily have been 17-7.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. Tough play for Weber State.
Weber State head coach Jay Hill, his wife is Sarah, been suffering from Hodgkin's lymphoma. She's on the trip, by the way, with one of their daughters. And recently at a South Dakota football game, that university surprised both Hills with a check for $10,000 to assist in their cancer therapy and development. And when the bus tragedy occurred in Chattanooga this past week, Coach Hill decided to pay it forward, and in fact got the Weber fans together to start a fund to help the victims and their families of that horrific crash. And then the Mocs and their fans joined in, and Russ Huseman, the head coach of the Mocs, said a lot of my players started to donate out of their own pockets. So it was a wonderful gesture. Probably that all started with the efforts by South Dakota to help the Hill family.
Oh, isn't it neat to have people like the South Dakota coach and Jay Hill and that are teaching our kids some of these type things, Jim? It's just fantastic. It just makes you tingle all over when you hear stories like that. And we just hope and pray Sarah's okay and gets through this. I think they have 4 children, and hopefully she's going to be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Football for Weber State at its own 34. They got to find a way to regroup, and how do they do that at this point, Coach?
Take a drive down the field and score. I mean, they got to go right back again, and they just don't have a lot of time. Jadrian
Clark shooting one to the sidelines. Ball caught, 48-yard line. Good start. It's a reception of 14. Drew Batchelor is the receiver. Weber State's drives haven't mounted to much. The fumble at its own 41, and then the fumble that was returned for a score. So this offense right now is been hamstrung. It's been self-destructive in a way, and as a result right now behind at least 3 scores.
But the positive was a great drive on the last one. They just didn't get any points. Now let's see if they can go down and get some points right before the half. Really would help them if they could.
Certainly over the middle, incomplete. In fact, that might release some of the anxiety over that last play. And right now, Clark is having a conversation with some of his linemen about something. That ball was intended for Daryl Denby.
Well, he's talking to those guys to keep these guys off of me. And we've got to be able to get some points here before the half. They're not in a great situation because it's basically all-out pass now.
First round FCS playoffs. The winner gets Sam Houston State next week at Sam Houston. I mentioned Sam Houston State. I mean, their numbers are scary.
Yes, they are.
They have had several games in the 50s and 60s on offense. Have not had a game in which they have scored less than 38.
No.
Well, the umpire did a nice job of ducking there. That was Corey Williams Sr.
Showing a little athletic ability.
He did. Good job, Corey.
No doubt about it. Chattanooga brought a linebacker. Daryl Warren was in the quarterback's face again.
$1:40 to go, first half. 3rd and 10. Clark under pressure, gets rid of it, popped up in the air. It's intercepted. And it's going to be run back. Is that Pardue again? No, not this time. In fact, it looks like Elias Miller with the pick. And you know what? Miller got a shove when that ball was up in the air on one of the receivers to put himself in perfect position to bring it back.
Well, and it all comes from you know what? Pass rush, pass rush. Brooks Darian Clark, they're all over him right now. I think this is Lucas Webb, tell you the truth. I believe it is. But that play was made by the defensive
Lucas
front.
Webb, you're right.
And did you see the big defensive lineman right there running down the field, Taylor Reynolds? It just shows the athletic ability of this Tennessee Chattanooga defense.
That is the 10th career interception for Lucas Webb. So the Mocs back on offense. Crane running to the far side. Penalty flag on the play, gets the first down. They may bring it back with 1:18 remaining in the first half. Chattanooga has all 3 timeouts remaining.
Offense, number 56, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
It's on Malcolm White.
Malcolm White's a freshman. It's amazing to be on this good football team and a freshman come in and be a starting left tackle. They're really excited about his future, I can tell you that. Again, Weber State's got to work this perimeter route. They're playing man coverage, Jim, on the perimeter, and the receivers are just running them off, and there's nobody outside to tackle the ball carrier when he gets there. They're going to have to start mixing some zone coverage with what they do.
So that's the reason for all that open space.
Absolutely.
A minute to go in the first half. Weber State now has committed 3 turnovers in the game. Against the blitz, Benefield is brought down back at the 40. It's the 3rd time today that Benefield has been sacked. Give credit to Jonah Williams, 94, his 2nd sack of the game. And
timeout, Chattanooga. First time out of the half.
Mocs will take a break, and we'll step aside as well. Finley Stadium, Davenport Field, Chattanooga, Tennessee. That's our venue today. Time winding down in the first half. Chattanooga leading 24-0. Trying to get to the second round and Sam Houston State. Got to get the ball here to the 15. Benefield incomplete. Overshooting C.J. Board, and that'll bring us to 4th down.
If you remember early in the game, they hit Board on the exact same play on a 3rd and long, and that's the one that he took in for a score, and they had holding on the call by one of their wide receivers. Benefield just missed him there. He had him wide open again.
Benefield remains in the game. So it appears on 4th and forever they're going to take a chance here.
I think it's 3rd down. The marker is still saying 3rd, so that's the penalty they had on the holding call earlier made it that. Yeah.
Correct. Here comes the blitz. Benefield picks it up, shoots it downfield, intended for Stewart. Nearly hauled it in at the 5-yard line. Lopez back defending against him. It'll be 4th down.
I'm going to tell you, that was one heck of a throw. He had all kind of people all around him. They brought an all-out blitz. He puts this ball right on the money, and they just couldn't come down with it. That is a beautiful throw.
So now the Moccasins will try to pin Weber State. Child back to receive. Again, Corey Thompson not available today. Mocs have 2 timeouts remaining if they choose to use them, but likely that will not matter with a half a minute to go. Well, Coach, what do you think of the first half?
I really think the Weber State defense has played better than it looks. They've had some stops, and they had a stop, and then they have a special teams turnover that gave them the ball back. Really, that last score had nothing to do with the defense. It was picked up in its 99-yard return. Really, I think it's Weber State has just struggled moving the ball to the last drive. They've been a little unlucky, to be very honest. I think the composure of the Chattanooga team to me, in the first half has been the difference.
Wildcats won't try to do something special here. They'll put this one into the locker room and try to find a way to find answers as Mack is in there to make the tackle. It has been a dominant first half, and as Watson mentioned, a little bit of luck on the 99-yard fumble return for score and a 37-yard interception return. Wildcats will get the football to start the second half. So what do you talk about here at the break to try to reverse the trend?
I don't think you go in and yell at them at all. I think Jay needs to go in and just calm them down, see if they can come out and play a better second half. They've had a great year. Come back out and play a better second half.
Alejandro Benefield has figured in 2 touchdowns today. His team is up 3 scores at halftime.
Caliéntate bien, concentrado, metido, enfocado. Disfruta el partido. ¿Todo listo? ¡Listo!
You can see the importance of American football here in Mexico now. It's getting bigger and bigger.
We know that the soccer is the major sport, but in this season, to September to February to Super Bowl, people get crazy about football.
Football around the rest of the globe is soccer. In America, of course, football is football. But the world is getting smaller, and to the south, Mexico has developed a passion for the pigskin.
San Francisco 49ers, Houston, Texas, Pittsburgh Steelers, Denver Broncos, Dallas Cowboys, Detroit Lions, Redskins!
These enthusiastic young fans have more than just a passing knowledge of the sport.
Ben Roethlisberger, Matthew Stafford, Tony Romo, Colin Kaepernick, Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, Antonio Brown. Business is booming.
The sport, originally brought to Mexico by college students abroad in America, has deep, deep roots.
American football has been played in Mexico for over 100 years. At the college level, back in the 60s, American football was even more popular than many of the soccer teams in this country.
I watch more football. I don't like to watch any game of soccer. It's too boring for me.
Una fortaleza mental que te lleve a atreverte a hacer grandes cosas. Estamos de acuerdo. Usa tu fuerza.
When I was a kid, it was like you feel different from the other kids because you play football, because it's an aggressive sport. Like I was tougher than the other kids. You would become warriors.
Recently, another form of football has gained popularity in Mexico: flag football, or tochito.
We have around 300,000 people that play tackle football. And we have over 2.5 million kids in our flag football program.
And this game isn't gender specific.
Yo creo que ahora las niñas tienen más confianza que antes. Que antes las niñas eran porristas y ahora ya lo empiezan a practicar porque les gusta correr y anotar con pases o de otra forma.
Flag football is more popular because there's no contact, so they are more careful with the health of the people, of the players.
After playing in college, where students typically attend and compete for 7 years, there's only one professional league with 4 teams the most talented athletes can join. While there have been 15 Mexican-born players to play in the NFL, none are currently on any team's active roster. But there is hope.
You have more children practicing, and so the base is getting wider. You have a much more possibility to detect talents.
While soccer seems destined to remain number 1 in Mexico, football is developing a growing foothold in the country's vast spectrum of sports.
One of the biggest things I think that the football gives to the children is the sense of community, the sense of teamwork. And I think what is one of the most important things you have to learn during life.
Just one beautiful part of the country. We're in the South, Chattanooga, Tennessee. We're at halftime in the first round of the NCAA FCS playoffs. The Mocs are leading Weber State by a score of 24-0. Well, the playoffs are a different breed of cat from the regular season. Elimination, you win, you go on. You lose, you go home. What are your thoughts about anybody trying to dethrone North Dakota State at this juncture?
I think that's what it'll be. When you win 5 straight, like they've done, whoever gets them, you're going to go through North Dakota State to win a national championship.
All right, let's show you the bracket so far. North Dakota State and the Bison don't have to worry about activity right now. Lehigh, New Hampshire also in the bracket of Weber State and Chattanooga. New Hampshire leading in the second, 36-14. Next week, the winner of our game against Sam Houston State. Watson, you'll be there for that. And the winner of New Hampshire, Lehigh, will take on 4th-seeded James Madison. Villanova, Andy Talley's last season is going to be extended, it looks like. Get a chance to see him next week, assuming it holds up 31-7.
Good football team.
Yep.
You're going to enjoy that one.
North Dakota State, the #1 seed, the 5-time consecutive defending champion, will play in the next round, round number 2, along with South Dakota State playing its game as well on the campus of the Jackrabbits. Get a chance to see that one against either SFU or Nova. Again, Villanova leading 31-7. We'll take a look back at the first half, and on to the second half when we come back. Time now for us to take a look back at the first half. Mocs, as Watson mentioned, got a couple of big breaks. Got a little lucky in the first half, and also put together a nice-looking drive to start the game on offense. That was led by Alejandro Benefield, their quarterback.
Yeah, the quarterback run has hurt Weber State. He's played a really good football game, Benefield has so far.
And able to find Alfonso Stewart for the second touchdown. They made it 14-0. Field goal made it 17-0. And how about this defense in the first half?
Just the domination of this defense is the difference in the game. Weber State's just not moved the ball in their normal way of doing things.
With the hole that comes up here, opportunity for Weber State to get points. Pass to Vollert from quarterback Clark, and watch what happens after this play, which leads to the hit on the goal line, which is the game changer. Actually, Benefield running the football right now. And now to lead to Vollert to the pass at the goal line. The stick by Pardue and the return by Pardue, 99 yards for a touchdown and a 14-point swing in this game.
And that's a 6'5", 255-pound tight end that he popped right there and then picked the ball up and took it the distance. Play of the game, no doubt about it. That's the play of the game.
And limiting so far, Coach, Weber State to just 117 total yards, even though time of possession is comparable.
And this is a 400-yard offense, right at 400 yards, and Chattanooga has just dominated the football game defensively.
Second half will be upon us shortly. The good news for the Wildcats, they'll get the ball first, but they've got to find a way to work its way back into the game, down 24. The NCAA FCS Championship is presented by Northwestern Mutual. ESPN's coverage of the FCS Championships continue next weekend. Round 2 on ESPN3. For more information, go to NCAA.com. That's the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. 24-0 is our score. You're taking a look at the Mocs. Warming up right now, getting prepared for what will be a defensive series as the Wildcats and Weber State will get the ball to start this second half. And Watson brought it up earlier about how they need to continue to do what they've been doing on offense because they are moving the football, just haven't been able to get significant yardage when they need to down to the goal line. And of course the big stick by Pardue, which resulted in a 99-yard fumble return for score, has been a big game changer.
Big plays, I think, Jim, have been the difference in the game, even though Chattanooga has moved the ball better than Weber State. But you get any yards on this Chattanooga defense, it's a good thing. They just have not been able to get points when they've had the opportunities, and also have given the ball back some, which has hurt the Weber State defense.
The winner, as you may already know, gets Sam Houston State next week. Sam Houston State completing a perfect regular season, last year's FCS finalist. Check that, Jacksonville State was actually the FCS finalist. Sam Houston State lost in Jacksonville, Alabama in the semis. So work to be done for the Wildcats. 19 Colby Child is back. Number 40, Rivera, will kick from his own 35. The return from the 17. It's a good one. Child races past the 30, carries it back for 15 yards, and they'll start after the tackle by Davis. And we just saw Davis on our screen. He's a pretty special guy too, isn't he, when we talk about some of the efforts in this community that have been done by the Mocs?
Oh, was that not a great story that we were told yesterday, and what Luke Davis has done, and to be a stem cell match for somebody, to stop during the season and go through the procedure, absolutely helped save someone's life. He's out 2 weeks with the team and comes back. We got to meet him yesterday afternoon. I have a personal issue myself with my youngest brother that's gone through a bone marrow stem cell transplant. Did it last March. It's probably saved his life. Just an unbelievable story. So proud of Luke and Coach Huseman, who has his whole team register for stem cell and to see if they're a match. And he finally had a kid that did that, and I just think it's a great story, starting with Coach Huseman all the way down.
Well, I know Davis is thrilled to meet you, and I think vice versa, because of what you'd mentioned that your brother Mel has been going through.
Absolutely. It was an honor to meet him. Nice to see him make a play right there on the special teams. But that's way past football, what that young man did, and what Coach Huseman's teaching these kids and about life. Those are the great things that college football players get an honor to be a college football player, because it's just that the normal student doesn't get those kind of things. They pay for it, there's no doubt. They work very hard, Jim, but the things that you learn in being a college football player, I think, just leads you through life in a lot of ways.
So well said. Moy was shaken up on the sidelines and has gone to the Wildcat bench. Play resumes now. First offensive play of the second half, with the football just across the 30. And Weber State on first down, still content to try to establish some territory and maybe shake things up a little bit. And once again, seeing the presence of number 5, Kevion Leslie, who is the SoCon first teamer. He's a high school standout, played defensive back there, and he must have been a monster to face on the high school level back at Powder Springs.
And he has been playing a long time here as a linebacker, but learned to play linebacker when he came to UTC. He was a defensive back.
This is a defense that held Alabama to 14 first downs. Another breakup at the line of scrimmage. You know, we almost seem to be redundant. That's Justin King who makes a deflection. There have been a number of them today. But consider these numbers, holding Alabama to 14 first downs, 332 total yards. It was a solid point you brought up at the beginning of the broadcast. What confidence must have come even from a loss against the number 1 Tide.
And I think both of us have said it throughout this game, that's what I see has been the difference, is the confidence of the UTC team, being in the playoffs before, and I think that has been a big difference to Weber State.
Andrew Vollert now in the slot for Weber State. They're looking for him, but no time for Jadrian Clark, and he actually is dropped for a loss at the 30-yard line. They'll spot him officially at the 29. It's a loss of 3. And not a good start to the second half of the Wildcats, who must give up the football. And there's Isaiah Mack making his presence known. We talk about linebackers. Well, Mack hails from the front 4. He's a backup, and he's a pretty good one at that.
He's a good one, too. Just three poor plays to start the second half for Weber State. Not what they needed to happen as we start this third quarter.
C.J. Board will back off of that, and it takes a nice UTC roll almost to the 35-yard line. So the Mocs pitching a shutout right now on offense to start the second half. Started the season this year with a couple of lopsided wins over Shorter and Presbyterian, and in fact won their first 6 before the Citadel got in the way. Then the loss to Wofford toward the end of the year, and number 1 Alabama 31-3.
You know, this defense really has only struggled against those 2 wishbone teams. That's really it. They played Alabama really well. The wishbones gotten them a little bit in their 2 losses.
Led in that game in Tuscaloosa 3-0 in the second quarter. And right now you can establish or reestablish the run game as on the very first play from the line of scrimmage, Crane carries for 9.
That's been a little surprise to me that they've run the ball up inside as well as they have. I knew they were going to be a problem for Weber State on the flanks, but they've really run the ball off tackle well in the first half.
And Crane now 13 carries, coached for 82. Should be enough for the first down and a carry of 2. Crane, the senior running back, trying to pick up his 11th career rushing game. He's had 3 of them so far this season. He was met by the middle linebacker Adam Rodriguez. So move the chains again, just across the 45-yard line. Alejandro Benefield, the quarterback, was the man waiting in the wings. Give to Crane on first down, makes a man miss. Still going with the football, still rumbling ahead to the 39-yard line. What a good-looking run on first down, good for almost 20.
That run right there to me is the epitome of Derek Crane. He's, as I said earlier in the game, he's one of the leaders of this football team. He's tough as nails, hard to bring down, twist, turn, spin, and you better get him on the ground or he's going to keep moving toward the goal line.
He is at his 4th rushing game of 100 yards or better. 16 carries now for 113. Benefield, little screen. And I don't know if the pass was just a little too difficult to handle, intended for Bagley, or maybe there was just a cross-up as to whether the ball was to go to him anyway.
I think what happened, Jim, there is the sun got in his eyes.
He
couldn't see, and it's what he kept pointing at with his finger, and they had the screen right there. It's a nice combination the way they use these 2 backs. They like Bagley out in space, throw him the ball, get him on those speed sweeps, and let Crane be the guy that takes it off tackle. A really good combination, and you throw Benefield, who's a really good runner with that. They're a tough offense to stop.
You can see by our midfield cameras that part of the stadium is in shade, the other half is in sun, and Bagley was kind of somewhere in between.
Yep, I think that's exactly what happened here. They've gotten themselves back again, though. They've got it back to about 3rd and 5.5, which is still a situation they can run and throw because this could be a 4-down spot right here.
Junior Latu made the tackle on the play, 16th of the season. 3rd and 5, and you're right, at the 31-yard line, they could choose to go a couple of downs here with a 24-0 lead and a potential date with Sam Houston State next week. 8 on the box, Benefield throws to the side. Not enough for the first down, short by 4 yards, and so now we're to 4th down.
Weber State was in a nice call there defensively. They were playing man-to-man, man-free as we like to call it, with a free safety deep. They were pretty tight, so that little bubble pass is not going to be a great call into that, and they played it very well. And, of course, didn't get close enough to go for it on 4th down, so I think they're going to punt the ball, looks like.
Dre Snowden made the tackle to force him to a 4th down situation. So Brewer will punt. Child is back at his own 5.
Timeout, Chattanooga.
I think the Mocs may rethink this.
Yeah, I think that's what that's all about. They're going to rethink this one.
30 seconds timeout.
Welcome back. 24-0 our score. 4th and 4. Mocs have rethought this. Instead of punting, they're going to go for it. Why not with a 24-0 lead? Benefield got a man. It's going to be a touchdown. Shot a bullet to Alfonso Stewart. Well, great change of thought there.
I think that was a good decision. I think they thought the field goal was a little bit long. Ball's on the 30. They're not losing but 10 yards probably. Just ran a quick slant. It's kind of a skinny post. Perfect timing. That's twice they've gotten together for touchdowns today. Chattanooga is just on all cylinders offensively in the game.
Stewart out of Robertsdale, Alabama, did not have a touchdown reception prior to today. Now he's got a couple. And the route, I would say, Coach, is on.
I think the route is on. That was a big 2 series right there.
You could see the quarterback Benefield 15 and Stewart number 9. They teamed up moments ago for the second time today to make it 31-0 in favor of Chattanooga. Colby Child's probably getting tired of returning kicks. That's never a good sign.
That's not a good sign, no. That's not. You don't want to lead the team in kickoff returns.
No,
It's
sir.
not,
Or
not
punts.
good.
Corey Thompson with an injured shoulder, not getting a chance to play today and return kicks.
He would have had quite a few opportunities. Of course, I think they weren't going to kick it to him if he'd been back there. Once they figured he's not there, they've started kicking it deep again.
ESPN's coverage of the FCS championships continue next weekend. It's second round coverage on ESPN3. Go to NCAA.com for more information. That's the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. Next week you can see, among others, North Dakota State, Sam Houston State, South Dakota State, and a lot of good playoff teams that got the weekend off, got buys to the second round. Benefield, play action, first down to the tight end.
I think that's what they need to do more early. Just try to throw some on first down. This is such a good defense. You can't. You just really can't stick by the book when you're playing a defense this good.
Namuli with a catch. That was good for 6. 2nd and 4. This time from the straight eye. Well, when you watch this, your first impression is, why not try to shoot one down the field? But maybe they're not getting that type of time to throw the ball as Reynolds makes the tackle, or getting separation for the receivers.
Well, and I think they are. That is a consideration, but you get more time on first down when the defense is thinking run. You let this bunch get in a passing situation and they just get to let loose. They're hard to block.
Yeah, it's what they do, and they do well. 3rd and 2. Running the football, enough for the first down. As Emmanuel Pooler, again, who has fought through injuries, now in the season up over 200 yards rushing. 94 Taylor Reynolds greets him from the nose position, but it is a fresh set of downs. And I would think right now, even though you're down by a bunch, it's got to be a little more urgency, I would think, to your cadence getting up to the line of scrimmage, even though you're not likely used to doing that.
No, but I mean, you got to play the game as it plays out here, and I agree with you. I think that maybe they will do that here in this third quarter as the game goes on.
Under 9 minutes now left in the third quarter. Going underneath and a pickup of close to 9.
That's exactly what, Jim, I think they need to do, and to keep doing it on these early downs. And you saw they had no pressure was on the quarterback right there, and the reason for that was there was a run fake with it, and they weren't thinking pass, and that gives Clark a much better opportunity to be what he's capable of being in this game.
Batchelor got the reception, Coach. Good for 8. It'll be second down and short. But again, valuable time continues to go off the clock as we're down to almost halfway in the third quarter.
Well, as you can see, that line of scrimmage is just not moving, especially off tackle. I mean, there's just, and I don't think that Weber State is an outside run team very much. They're a hard run right at you, kind of an old school power row ISO zone right up the middle, and this defensive line has just controlled the day.
Penetration from the left side of the Mox line. And unless the O-line move first, that'll be offsides and a first down.
Offsides. Defense. Number 15. 5-yard penalty. Results in a first down.
So Derek Mahaffey got a little over anxious there. One of the few mistakes I would think that Huseman's team has committed today.
They've had a couple of penalties. They had a couple of holding calls that hurt them in the first half a little bit. And honestly, that's about all they haven't done well, is just a few penalties, and not a whole lot of those even at that.
Well, by the way, if anybody cares, Ohio State just got a game-winning touchdown in overtime to beat Michigan 30-27. Can't imagine there's any interest in that game, but just in case you were flipping back and forth.
Nice finish of a drive to win in overtime.
Yes. Urban Meyer can breathe a little easier.
Urban can breathe a little bit. He sure can.
What's interesting about that is Meyer and Ohio State will not be the Big Ten championship game unless Penn State loses to Michigan State, because Penn State beat Ohio State during the regular season.
Absolutely right. That's amazing, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But I think the Buckeyes will be in the Final Four.
I think that'll finish it.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be one of the four.
Benefield out to the flat. Batchelor on the reception to the far side of the field. Trying to find some open space, but frankly, there hasn't been much today.
It's not there, and again, run on first down, didn't get much, threw a little bubble pass to the outside. Now they're in 3rd and long again, and this has been the situation they just have not been able to control all day long.
Working our way down to 6 minutes for the 3rd quarter. Against the blitz to Batchelor on this side. It's a catch of 11. It's good enough for a first down to the 36. Drew Batchelor has become pretty active here. He's out of St. George, Utah.
Yes, it was a nice play. Chattanooga again brought 6. They're not a big blitz team. They blitzed more today than I've seen them blitz. That time not successful. Weber State picked it up nicely, and Clark had a nice throwing lane.
Yes, both of these teams, blitz is not really part of the defensive game plan.
No, it isn't, and Jay Hill said he was going to come after Chattanooga more today, and I think they have.
That pass intended for the receiver, the 25-yard line, and Darrell Denby. That's going to be pass interference against Trevor Wright. I think there are 2 givens in football. 1, receivers are always open. 2, defensive backs do not commit penalties.
Never is there a pass interference by a defensive back.
And I've talked
to interference. Defense, number 1, automatic first down.
I've talked to more than my handful of quarterbacks over the years, asking them if receivers come back to the huddle, swearing they're open, and of course they do.
They do. Believe me.
Our mics are working nicely down on the field, aren't they?
There's not a receiver that doesn't come back to the huddle and tell the quarterback that he's open. I'm telling you, that's just the way it is. Poor quarterbacks, they've got to close their ears on some things.
Yeah, and you could hear the sidelines arguing rather vehemently with the call there. And that's just ridiculous. From the 23. Nice gain on first down by, is that Zach Smith? You know, Smith was listed as injured coming into the game, but he's healthy now, and that's, I think, his first carry.
It's been a long time since he's touched one, I think. And if you remember, Coach Hill said he might use him in this game a little bit.
Sure.
But the other guys he thought had done a good job and was going to keep going with them. That's probably one of their better runs on first down in the whole ballgame, to tell you the truth.
5 minutes now to go in the 3rd period. Weber State badly in need of a touchdown. Very methodical
Very methodical, a little surprising. They need to speed up. You never know what might happen.
Yeah, if you weren't aware of the score, you'd say, well, this might be an opening drive. But frankly, I don't understand the reason for, unless it's so much out of your realm you can't do it, that why you're not speeding things
well,
up.
in college football today, it's never out of realm. I mean,
sure.
These offenses today, and Darren Clark is a very good quarterback. You never know. Anything can happen. They sure need to get points. They've been down here a couple of times and just hadn't been able to get points.
On a catch by Andrew Voller to the goal line. He got hit by Pardue, who returned it 99 yards for a big switch of momentum back in the first half. Need to get 4 on third down. Boy, that's not going anywhere. Penalty flag at the end of the play.
Looked like Dale Warren to me, the linebacker. I'm not sure, but you're just
offense, left guard, penalties decline, 4th down.
Just cannot control the line of scrimmage, and I think they'll go for this here. I don't think they'll try to kick a field goal down 31. Nope, I think they're going to kick it. That's what they're going to do. They're going to kick a field goal.
Trying to get their first points of the afternoon. The attempt will be a 39-yarder. And Taylor Heights, who is just 7 of 18 this year, will try it from the near hash. High snap. Is that a fake? If it is, it works perfectly. Great call. A terrific play call, and on the reception, 33, the tight end, and that's Tui Saduala. And what a play call, huh?
Impressive.
Yeah. Set us all up, didn't they?
They sure did. We're sitting here kind of giving them a little grief because they're not going for it on 4th down. They did go for it on 4th down. Nice call, but also even better executed by the Weber State special team.
Well, Stephen Cantwell, who threw the ball, is the backup quarterback, so that's always a danger. And so for Weber State, some life. Extra point is good by Heights. He'd prefer to kick extra points and field goals anyway. And here's the play call again on 4th down, and the toss to the end zone of Saduala. Third year for Jay Hill, went through a light walkthrough yesterday. In fact, his team played a little touch football here on the field, and coaches have different approaches to walkthroughs. I thought that was one of the more entertaining ones yesterday, Coach.
Jay's done a good job, Jim. He really has. He's turning this program around. They hadn't been in the playoffs since 2009. That was also a great call by him right there. Fooled us all, and also very well executed.
So now his team is in a 24-point deficit. That's hardly something that can't be overcome in college football, as we all know. By the way, one of the most entertaining football games in FBS today is still going on in Pittsburgh. It is Pitt 76 and Syracuse 61.
Oh, my gracious. That basketball? You sure it's football?
I'm not sure that Jim Boeheim's teams in basketball have ever given up that many points on a November weekend, but
that's probably a good point right there.
Yeah. Well, that was Art Briles' assistant,
Dino Babers,
who went on to Bowling Green, who now is the first year at Syracuse, and
he will score some points.
Yeah, the son of the mad scientist.
Oh, me.
Back to action here, and let's see now if the Mocs can do a little bit of countering, as they have certainly not fallen asleep at the switch, but Borshati carrying the football. They want to reestablish their offensive gain, and we have an injured Weber State player. Down is number 7, Josh Burton. He's been very active in that secondary, and he is holding his left knee.
Yep, he's the leader of the secondary, and they do not need to lose him. He's a second-team all-conference player, and I think he is the signal caller in the secondary, so he's an important guy.
Burton is a senior out of Roseland, Louisiana. Their tackle leader in that secondary and their third most active tackler on the season, with 83 coming into today. And he's added a few to that total. Hope he's going to be okay. You saw the quarterback Benefield come up and give him a couple of words of encouragement.
Well,
second teamer in the Big Sky, which has 4 teams represented in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's a really good football player. I'm sure he's respected by both teams. That would be a tough loss for Jay to lose him, and he's really had a wonderful career.
He sure has. Our location, Nate Finley Stadium, has been the host of a lot of NCAA Division football championships with small colleges back through the period of 1997 to 2009. And the weather that has surrounded this community today has been ideal. Would like to see a few more people in the stands.
Sure would, but boy, what a beautiful day. And we're sitting up here high and can see the mountains is to our left and not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful football day.
Yes. Crane to run to the outside. Crane still going, but tracked down for a loss. Looks like the Wildcats have a little extra step to their defensive game right now.
Yeah, it is. That's also the first time we've really seen them make a play on the outside in the space area, and got Derek Crane on the ground right there and got him in a 3rd and long situation. Flag on the field.
Trayvon Johnson made the tackle. Now we'll see what the flag is all about.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 56 in the offense. Half the distance to the goal. It's his first unsportsmanlike conduct in the game. 3rd down.
Left tackle Malcolm White is signaled out. So the Mocs now pinned further back 15 yards, and if Weber State can make a stop here, they're going to get pretty good field position off the punt.
Yep, absolutely. You put this one in, all of a sudden everybody's going to look at the game a little bit different if they can make a stop right here.
And my comment's going to break that the route was on moments ago. The route might be paused right now.
We'll see. This is a big down right here, and keep them down here.
Mock's got to get all the way up to the 35. Benefield will just get rid of it. And so the Wildcats score a touchdown on a fake field goal. Now hold the Mocs back deep in their territory, benefited by a penalty, unsportsmanlike conduct, and they're going to get the ball again.
We've got Ribeiro back punting this time. They changed their punters. I think he hits it further sometimes when he punts. They need to get some yards right here.
And also making a change back at the punt returning area. Chandler Tunney, 83, is back. That catch made at the 43. Look at the field position as Child returns to inside the 40. So you revisit our brackets as Villanova says goodbye to its head coach and would like to prolong that departure as long as possible. That's in first round activity. That's in the 3rd. To the 2nd round, North Dakota State, South Dakota State will be playing next week and will be hosting. And the Nova winner will head to South Dakota State. I'll get a chance to see the Jackrabbits up close and personal in Brookings.
Yes, you will. It could be a good football game.
Yes, sir. Play action for Clark, shooting one down the field's got a receiver and broken up at the goal line. Football intended for Darrell Denby. C.J. Fritz presents the touchdown. He's noted mostly for press coverage, and if we offered a trivia question as to who typically wins this, all you have to do is guess and say the Bison. 2010, that would be a good trivia question. Was Eastern Washington.
Was it? Is that right? So you're good.
Yeah.
You got me. I had no clue.
I cheated and looked on the screen, but nonetheless.
You knew.
All right, see if the Wildcats can work their way back in the game. They're not there yet. But at 31-7 a score, maybe a try for 2 and hold everything.
Well, I thought that was a great call on the play before. And Denby had an opportunity. It hit him in his hands. He had a chance to make that catch in the end zone down there. And, boy, that could have really changed it around. Big 3rd and long right here.
I would guess this is 4-down territory. What do you think?
Oh, wait. You got to. You've got to do that. even if you don't gain a yard right here, I think you've got to go for it on 4th down.
Let's see if they find their tight end, 87, Andrew Vollard, who lines up in the slot. Denby's on the outside toward this side. Instead, they set up a screen and broke it up before anything happens. I think if you're keeping track of deflections, as Keontae Davis got one there, we're probably up to a half a dozen at the line of scrimmage.
Well, and this also shows you how sharp Keontae is, his experience. He felt the screen, he felt the lineman release. You watch him, he stops immediately and jumps up and bats the ball down. Just the defensive player of the year in the SoCon, he's some kind of special player.
Instead of going for it, they're lining up in punt formation, although they faked the last time they attempted a field goal. This kick will come from roughly midfield. C.J. Board is back there to return, or at least make a fair catch. Board lets it go. Ball into the end zone. So there's not much of a net there. And, Coach, I have to ask, why a punt? Why not go for it? Why not go for it?
I'm not sure. I think I would have, to be very honest. We talked about it before it got to 4th down. You're still trying to win the football game here. Now, if they pin them down there, maybe that the other side of that is you pin them on the 1 or the 2, you might get it back again. There's still a minute and something to go in this quarter. But I just believe I would have had to try to go for that one.
So the Bucs get the football back. And this time we'll start from their own 20. Quarterback Benefield. Flares went out to Crane. Crane tackled out of bounds. Spot will be at about the 25 and a pick up of 5 on the play.
Nice ball control pass by Alejandro, getting into one of their better players' hands. And again, a space play, putting themselves in 2nd and 5, which is ahead of the chains, and they've done that most of the day.
For Crane, just his 14th reception of the year. What he does principally is run the football as opposed to pass catch. But they'll shoot another one out to Crane on the other side, and he's got enough for 1st down. And see the problem with punting the football there, and I think it's pretty obvious. You give it back to the offense, they're going to eat up some more clock, and we're likely going to be heading into the 4th quarter with the Bucs with the ball.
And they're 7 yards from where the ball was.
Yeah.
In 2 plays, they ran the exact same play to the left that they ran on 1st down to the right, throw the ball to Crane.
All the home teams are doing well in the FCS today. Coastal Carolina up 23-7. Villanova 31-7. New Hampshire leading Lehigh 43-21. Wofford is trailing in its game against Charleston Southern 14-8. Richmond leading 26-10. Brock Spack in Illinois State. You're going to hear that name when the Purdue job becomes officially open because he's going to be a candidate. I don't know if he'll be the lead candidate, but Illinois State leading 17-7. And here it's 31-7, end of 3, on to the 4th, and back to business in a moment. The NCAA FCS Championship presented by Northwestern Mutual. With former SEC coach and player Watson Brown, Jim Barber. That's our line score as we head to the 4th. The Mocs have the football of Chattanooga on 2nd and 9. Benefield shooting one down and incomplete. Intended for C.J. Board, who laid out but couldn't get it.
Oh, that's one of my pet peeves as an old quarterback coach, is to don't overthrow the deep fades, because if you underthrow it, you got a great chance to come back and catch it. And he just barely overthrew it. Board nearly made him a hero anyway, but Benefield just took that one and just, if you watched it close, he kind of took that front shoulder and got it up in the air, and he threw it at the sky instead of throwing it at the wide receiver.
Benefield's numbers on the day, almost 200 total yards and 3 combined touchdowns. Trey Hoskins, the right corner, back defending on the play moments ago. 3rd and 9. Benefield sacked again. The Wildcat defense has got to him 4 times today. And this time around, it's Trayvon Johnson.
I think the Weber State defensive line really has not had a bad day. They've made some nice plays. that naked play where they fake one way and let the quarterback go the other. They've played that play really well. I think they've sacked him twice on it, and they've also made him throw it away a couple of times.
So 4 times to the quarterback, and once again, really good field position for the Wildcats, pending the distance of this punt. Around the 35-yard line, this drive will begin. And if you do the math, 3 touchdowns, 3 two-point conversions get you back in it. Adrian King made the tackle for the Mocs. Just getting that second score might put a little pressure on the Mocs here, but got a long way to go to get that, Coach.
Well, and we need to see some speed up right here. They've been in a slow pace. I'd like to see them now speed this up and really try to get down the field quicker and get some points.
I would think no huddle's part of every offense.
Absolutely.
On 1st and 10, Clark to Batchelor. Ball loose. Mocs say they've got it. Let's see what the call is. Yes, sir. Turnover number 4 in the game. Lucas Webb, who had a pickoff earlier in the game, now recovers the fumble.
Yeah, we really can't see the ball right there.
Webb got his right hand around it. Right
as he's headed to the ground, he hit that ball, and if you see, the ball's loose. It's got to be up against that number tight, especially when you get around bodies, and that was just a fundamental flaw by the wide receiver right there.
Yeah, Webb's had a terrific day.
Oh, he has. He and Pardue have been just really, really good.
You know, 29's dad played, Dad Stephen played at Alabama.
It was neat.
Recovered by Chattanooga. The previous play is under further review.
That means we'll be going up to the booth for one of the few times today. And Bob Sokolowski, who handles replay, will weigh in.
Yep, I was standing outside the press box with Bob early and said, Bob, going to get on you today now if you get a bad one, but he's had an easy day, tell you the truth.
Time for him to go to work, huh?
Yeah, this one's easy too. They're not going to overrule this.
No, sir.
Kind of the epitome of the day for Weber State, isn't it, Jim? They just, right as you feel like they got something going, they seem to turn it over, have a special teams, bad play, whatever. It's just haven't been able to gain any momentum in this football game.
Well, think about it, Coach. The special teams was when a punt hit one of the linemen, and then on this play, really wasn't so much any kind of defensive hit. It was just inability to handle the ball by Batchelor, and so there have been some unforced errors in this game.
There have been, and that one was, if you get in a crowd and you know you're going to the ground, tuck that ball and just get on the ground right there. You teach receivers that for 2 reasons. Number 1, don't turn the ball over, but number 2, protect yourself. Because you got a lot of bodies around you. You're not a big receiver anyway. Batchelor's not, and he just needed to get on the ground right there, get back going again, and that's a big turnover.
This is an offense coming in that had committed 17 turnovers on the season. You add 4 to that, it's now 21. Assuming that this ruling is upheld. If not,
after
we'll
further review,
take it off the board.
The ruling on the field stands. First down, Chattanooga.
So you still think Bob's had an easy day up
Bob's
there?
had an easy day.
He must be a former official you're giving some grief to.
Oh, you know he is, and I was one of the better ones at that.
Meanwhile, Chattanooga with 4 takeaways today, adding to its season total. Now 16. They had been almost dead last. So this is a good sign as they are positioning themselves to move on to round 2. And Crane's got a huge hole, and he may break this one. 20, 10, touchdown, Derek Crane.
That's what he does. He's an off-tackle runner, and boy, when he hits a seam, he takes it north and south. He heads right to those goal lines. And if you watched him when he crossed the goal line, he's tucking that ball, putting it away. Chattanooga's had a wonderful young man for 4 years in Derek Crane. They're going to miss him when he's gone, I can tell you that.
And once again, turnovers converted into points.
Absolutely.
The fumble and subsequent recovery by Lucas Webb that led to the 39-yard run by Derek Crane, his 10th rushing touchdown of the season. Welcome back to Chattanooga, Tennessee. Sights and sounds of a dominant performance by the home side Mocs today. Alfonso Stewart and Benefield and a whole lot of others who have figured in his 38-7 lead as the Mocs now can start staring towards Sam Houston State in a second-round matchup that you will be witness to next week, Watson.
Jim, I really look forward to it. I think it's going to be a great game. You got maybe the best offense in the country and one of the top 2 or 3 against one of the best defenses in the country. I think Chattanooga is in the top 10 in 3 different categories of defense. I think that one will be fun. You might just won't come with me. We'll just go down there together and have a little fun. Maybe we can sit out in the stands for a while.
Maybe they can switch my South Dakota State game and I'll just fly in on your jet.
Yeah, bring your sunglasses with you. You might need a little overcoat when you head.
Yeah. By the way, Sam Houston State this year has put up 66, 63 twice, 59 twice, and 56 for almost 600 points on the season.
Well, we did hear Coach Huseman say he did cheat and look at him just a little bit, and he wished he hadn't.
Yeah, and said it made him sick.
Yeah.
Clark in trouble. Gets out of trouble. Got some room to run. He'll get the first down and picks up 15 on a play that could have resulted in yards for loss.
Adrian Clark's been a good player all day. He's had a lot of people around him. He does right here. He's come out of this a couple of times and made some plays scrambling for a couple of first downs. I think he's a tough young man. He hangs in there. He's taken a lot of shots today.
Cedric Nettles made the tackle from his strong safety. He had 14 tackles in that playoff game at Jacksonville State last year. Clark shooting one down the middle of the field. Ball caught inside the 45-yard line to Andrew Vollert, his 3rd catch of the day. You know, the Mocs have done a nice job of containing him, and of course, the one catch he made, he got stuck at the goal line by Montreal Pardue, which resulted in a fumble and a return for 99.
Yeah, I think that may be just his 3rd catch. They brought an all-out blitz there and just had him one-on-one, man-to-man, and Clark just did a great job of sitting in there. He took one right in the jaw as he let that ball go. That was a beautiful play by him.
And so now a first down as Batchelor winds up as the outside receiver. Vollert comes to the near side along with Denby. First down at the 43 of the Mocs. Clark will keep. He's trying to figure out if he just didn't find anybody open or that was a designed play.
I think that one was a quick scramble by him. I do, and he's, as I said, he's done that well today. He's a good football player. He is the heart and soul of this team. I think he saw a covered guy to his right, just tucked the ball and took off to his left.
Second down and 5. Just past 4:30 in the Eastern time zone. Clark again shooting one down the middle of the field. Intended for Vollert, broken up at the 20-yard line.
Lucas Webb had great coverage there, had him man-to-man. Ball was thrown a little bit behind Vollert and made it a hard catch for him, but good coverage by Webb.
Got an injured Moccasin back in midfield.
That's Keonta Davis. That would not be a good injury. I doubt we'll see him anymore, whether he's hurt or not.
Looks like something on the left side has got him in pain. He's a local kid out of Chattanooga. And he anchors that Mocs defense in the top 10 in a number of categories nationally. We'll step out for a moment. During the timeout, defensive end Keonta Davis, well, this appears to be good news. So he is able to walk off the field. A couple of tackles, a couple of passes broken up at the line of scrimmage. Clark is swallowed up around the line of scrimmage. And that brings us to 4th down.
That was more of a coverage sack. I thought they did a great job in the secondary of covering him and then got him on the ground. Again, not going for it here at about the Chattanooga 40-yard line on 4th down.
Kind of a give up, don't you think?
Yeah, I just think that Coach Hill would go for those type situations and give it his best shot. A lot of things go into play on sidelines that you don't know about and why decisions are made. But that, to me, I think I would go for that one.
Well, delay a game being called.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
As a head coach, your many years, you were never second guessed, so
never.
This probably seems a little unusual territory here.
Well, you did hear me tell Coach Huseman yesterday when we were on the phone with him on Friday. He said, "What do you think?" I said, "It's a lot easier to second guess these 3rd and longs than it is to call them."
Little fake. They worked one earlier, and this one is going to be close, but not close enough. So 1 for 2 in deceptions, and that got spelled out nicely. 46 T.J. Jenkins made the tackle as DeMaio and company put a little razzle-dazzle together on 4th down.
Well, and it makes you feel better about Coach Hill. And honestly, he did go for it. He tried a trick play on his special teams and instead of just trying to throw the ball and gain the 8 yards or 9 yards.
Either way, Mocs get the ball. They're on 39 with 11 to go. Let's update the bracket as scores are starting to finalize themselves in the 4th. Along with our game, New Hampshire-Lehigh about to turn in the 4th. It is 50-21 in favor of New Hampshire.
I think we'll see Chattanooga just run right at them now and try to eat clock and put this away for 2 reasons. Number 1, you don't want to give them any opportunity to get back in the game. And number 2, you want to get it over as fast as you can and not hurt a lot of your guys.
Sure.
And get them to next week when they get to go to Texas. So I think we'll see the ball going right at the Weber State defensive front here for a while.
By the way, in the New Hampshire game, quarterback Reese has thrown 3 touchdowns, 273 yards as they'll be moving on. Benefield continues to stay in the game.
I think it's a whole bunch. All the starters are still out there. I don't think you'll see him carrying the ball a lot as the clock ticks down here in this 4th quarter.
Probably not a great idea.
No, that may be it for him, to tell you the truth, unless there's some kind of scramble.
And now they'll use as much of the play clock as they can as we're under 10 to play. Mocs opened up with a blowout win over Fordham last year. Ditto this for 2016. To Bagley out of the backfield. Tripped up open field before he can get to the sticks. That's Justice Brown, number 16, the sophomore from Brigham City, Utah, with a tackle.
They've run that play, as you've seen, 3 or 4 times in the game. And what it is, they're playing man coverage, so that inside linebacker's got that back man. And that time, Justice got to him. That was a nice tackle.
So I know you'll be studying a lot of tape, but what you know about Sam Houston State and what you're seeing today, what kind of matchup are we looking at in round 2?
I think it's fantastic. You got, as I said earlier, it's one of the best defenses in the country, one of the best offenses in the country. Something's got to give.
On the pitch, first down Bagley and then some to the 30. Cardre Bagley, number 23. Had a 38-yard touchdown run against Fordham last year, which out of bounds by LeGrand Toya.
Just a straight down the line option, caught a blitz. I think number 58 there is supposed to run up and tackle the pitch back and didn't take him, and that's why Bagley is in space with the ball and gained quite a few yards.
Most of the field covered in shadows, and eventually all of it will be as we get to an earlier sunset deep into the fall. Here's Crane. Derek Crane with his 20th carry of the game Already rushed for 1 touchdown. And Arnold Lopez trying to bring this big kid down at 5'10" and 205 out of McDonough, Georgia.
I really believe Coach Huseman will start throwing some reserves in here shortly. There's too many important football players on the field that he just wants to make sure gets on the plane to go to Huntsville, Texas next week.
Speaking of which, 17, Tyler Robertson now is the backup quarterback.
And I expected you'll start seeing more as we go here.
Robertson last year was on special teams. His first play delivers the handoff. And Alex Trotter gets a chance to carry. He's a local kid from Chattanooga, a sophomore.
I just think that's smart by Coach Huseman. Get those guys out. Let these other guys gain some experience. What a neat experience for them, getting to play in a playoff game. Young guys, freshmen, sophomores, going to be back 3rd year in the playoffs for UTC in a row. Russ has got it going here in Chattanooga.
You see the bio on Robertson, who, by the way, is a business major. Gets to call a 3rd and 6, and he'll keep the ball.
Comes a couple of more reserve offensive linemen in the game now. He's slowly putting them in there, getting those good guys out.
And that'll bring us to 4th down. So Robertson back to the huddle. Not a significant play call in terms of the result of the game, but let's see what he comes up with on 4th and 1. Give it to Bagley, and he is stuffed. And the football goes over to the Wildcats.
That's nice to see Weber State kids hanging in there, fighting to the end. You don't get to the playoffs if you don't have that kind of character, and that's neat to see.
That's McKay Murphy, number 90, with his tackle for loss. He's got 3.5 on the season, and well, defense has played a huge part in this game, and it did early with a number of passes knocked down at the line of scrimmage. That was Justin King, and then they swallow up the quarterback, and then the pick by Lucas Webb, and then the biggest play of the game as Montrell Pardue takes it 99 yards back, and then insult to injury, some more tackles for losses, and they were just swarming today and playing what you might expect. How about this? 8 tackles for losses, 8 passes broken up, couple of sacks, 3 forced turnovers, 4 takeaways for the day.
Weber State, first time out of the half. Second time out.
That's a good effort, and we should mention the great work by defensive coordinator Adam Brathwaite, whose team right now is moving in the 2nd round. At the pavilion across the street from Finley Stadium, some banner signing for the victims and their families of the horrific bus crash here in Chattanooga that has really been felt by a lot of people throughout the country. And in fact, in the case of both Weber State and Chattanooga, they have combined to raise funds. Some of the players themselves in the mocks have donated their own money. And it's been a heartfelt week for the people in this community. And just, you know, we live so many miles away from here, but you felt it if you've had kids before and the lives that were lost. And to see the communities come together, we hope that can be some solace to the people that who had kids involved in the crash.
Jim, it tells you that shows you football is a game.
Yeah.
There's a lot more important things in this world that we live in, and we all just pray for those families, and just, my gracious, we just feel for them so much.
Absolutely. Clark still firing away, gets Denby to the 30-yard line and then some, actually closer to the sticks, and it'll be enough for a first down. Six to go. This one's going to be returned. Touchdown. Trevor Wright, the 5th takeaway and the 2nd that's resulted in a score.
Just a poor throw. He just threw it right to Trevor, and you hate to see that, but it's big for Trevor. That's something he'll remember for a long time. He's one of the few starters still in the football game, and that one just thrown right to his breadbasket. Nice play. 5 turnovers. She's told us that as the game had started. We told you the score would look like it does.
That is Wright's 2nd interception, so now we have 2 turnovers returned for touchdowns in this game. This is a Mocs defense that came in with only 12 takeaways. They could add 5 more to the list, and there's Mr. Wright out of Greenville, Tennessee. I could be wrong, but I don't think the NCAA has hired these people as a backup to our CAA officials today.
You think any of those are retired officials? I kind of doubt it, to tell you the truth.
I want to know where they got their uniforms from.
Oh, I don't know. No telling.
Another short kick. That's been the way they've been operating on special teams today. The Mocs have, leading 45-7, 5:36 to go. Coastal Carolina has beaten Hampton to move on to the 2nd round, 26-7 today. Richmond, New Hampshire, Villanova, all sizable leads in the 4th quarter. Maybe the most compelling game today, Coach, is Wofford and Charleston Southern. Wofford leading 15-14. They're from the SoCon, 7 minutes to go in the 4th.
Yep, and those two wouldn't like each other either. They're not far apart. And I think if Wofford wins, don't they go play Citadel, which is in the same league with them?
Yes, sir. You could have a couple of conference matchups in the 2nd round. And a lot of that's due to the fact that some of the heavyweight conferences have a lot of teams that are in the playoffs. SoCon has 4, by the way. Big Sky has 4.
Yep. And I think a lot of it is geographic, too. And so if you got them in the same league, they're probably close to each other. Nice tackle. I think we got all reserves in the game now for the Mocs, I think, across the board.
Yeah, that's Jordan Jones, freshman out of Tennessee. Put the hit on Clark, who's still working hard here from his own 42. And we'll fire one out to Andrew Vollert, who has been stymied today. 4 catches for 50 yards. The major pass receiver today for Weber State has been Drew Batchelor with 8 catches. Batchelor came in with 36 for the year.
I think it's been hard that it's hurt them that they hadn't been able to get Vollert more catches. But I'm telling you, Clark has had a lot of batted down balls, and he's had a lot of people in his face from start to finish of this game.
And another deflection at the line of scrimmage, DJ Prather. So because that's happened a lot, are we talking about the athleticism of this front line, or maybe that Clark needs to do a little bit something different with his release?
Well, I think it's the athleticism of the front line and the smartness, because I think when they see they're not getting to the quarterback, they're stopping then and trying to time themselves on the throw. And that's happened more than once to this. So I think they're coached very well, too.
Less than 4.5 to go. And to the sidelines, Darrell Denby with his 4th catch of the game. That is the 19th completion for Clark, who's thrown 36 balls, 2 for picks, 1 return for a touchdown.
I think you're right. I think the turnovers have kept this from being a good day for him. He's made some nice throws. He's really had a lot of people around him. The 2 turnovers, though, have really hurt him.
Well, the point you might have made while we were away is the fact that 5 takeaways for this Mocs defense that had only 12 coming in, and they were toward the bottom of teams in takeaways in the FCS.
Which I thought, Jim, was very surprising to have this good a defense and have such a low number of takeaways. That catches up sooner or later, and they caught up today getting 5.
Down the middle of the field to Andrew Vollert. He'll score. Touchdown, Weber State.
Clark's pass complete to number 87, State.
I think you see when Darren Clark gets enough time to throw, he's a good football player. That was a nice throw. Bullard is such a big target. He was covered fairly well, but he's so big and tall, strong. Went up and took the ball away and then just broke the tackle, took it in for a score.
Good for 32 yards and a touchdown. Scoring drive of 7 plays, 69 yards. And Taylor Heights with the extra point, his 30th of the year in 32 attempts.
See, nobody's around him. He can see well. Nice catch, took a nice pop. He's a big, strong young man. He's made these kind of plays for Weber State all year long.
He has another year left as he's a junior from San Mateo, California. And Jadrian Clark, senior out of Lakeland, Florida, with the pass for the touchdown. And for Clark, now 23 throws for scores this year.
You see him on the sidelines. It's nice that they could have something nice to leave with.
Sure.
Smiles on the kids' faces. Don't get enough credit getting here. It's really hard to get to the playoffs. I'm telling you, it's really hard. There's a lot of good football teams in FCS. And to get here and then have a tough day like this, I'm glad they can have a smile on their face and make a play here at the end of the game.
And hopefully as they get back, they will not run into some of that snowy weather in Salt Lake City, which is making that city a snow globe.
We are glad the game was in Chattanooga, are we?
Yes,
not?
we are. Thank you.
Thank you, NC2A, for that. Appreciate it.
Should be pretty warm where you're going next week. I know it'll be chilly where I'll be headed with Jackrabbits and Brookings, South Dakota.
If you need my heavy jacket, I'll be glad to send it to you.
Yeah, you'll probably
you
use
may
it.
need it.
Yes. Temperatures have been low 30s. The Jackrabbits getting the bye this week. Little ground ball fielded at the 30. Back to our FCS playoff brackets. I mentioned Wofford and Charleston Southern have a good one going. Sanford and Youngstown State just getting started. Jacksonville State in round number 2 will face the Youngstown State winner. And the Wofford winner will head to play the Citadel. Having an outstanding season. The semis on ESPN, ESPN2, and ESPN3 on December 9th and 10th. For the day, 385 total yards for Tennessee Chattanooga, 300 for Weber State. Most of those have come in the fourth quarter. And it's time now to empty the benches. That's always a good sign for the offense. Kyle Knowles carries there, and there's hardworking LeGrand Toya. Well, one area I think Russ's team will probably like to clean up is the penalties. 8 for 91 yards today. That's not good.
I would say that's the only thing we can really pick on a little bit is they were little undisciplined and some penalties that really called back some big plays too.
Yes.
That they had in the ball game. But other than that, they've been very solid, and I think special teams really good today. They've had a nice special teams day. Defense is always solid. Offense got off to a great start. Got early points. They've had the lead throughout the football game. They've lived up to what everybody thinks. This is a good football team that can make a run. Now they do catch a really good football team next week, but this team's capable of making a run through the playoffs.
Mox will be up against Jeremiah Briscoe, quarterback of Sam Houston State, the 5th seed. Briscoe, 52 touchdown passes this year and 7 picks. Those are video game numbers.
That's career. That's what it ought to be. That's one season.
We were talking before the broadcast how Peyton Manning, in the year he set the record for most touchdowns, I think was about 55.
And that's 16 games, right? Or even more than that for playoffs. I can remember.
By the way, it may not matter, but Sam Houston State will be home, and they have played every game this season -2 in the state of Texas.
That's not bad, is it?
No. So home field, which likely matters in the playoffs, should be of some importance to them.
That's a neat stat. What a year.
And who's going to beat North Dakota State, winners of 5 straight?
As we said at halftime, you're going to have to go through them to win this thing.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. Somebody's got to knock them off. We would both have to pick them till they're knocked off. That's the way I would look at it. 5 straight is unbelievable. It's an unbelievable feat.
Based in Fargo, North Dakota, 16-0 in the playoffs, never lost at the Fargo Dome, and have had 3 losing seasons, only 3 since 1964.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And this run of 5 in a row was with 2 head coaches.
Yes.
Which to me even makes it even more of a stunning deal. It's just a fantastic run. And I'm telling you, somebody's going to have to knock them off because they're going to be right there when it's all said and done.
Craig Pohl, who has left that dynasty to coach at Wyoming, is close to getting his team in a conference championship right now. 1:41 remains. Mocs will look ahead to next week. Weber State will get on the bus and fly back to Ogden and prepare for next year.
Yeah, we've talked about Coach Hill, Jay Hill. I think he has done a really good job. He's improved them every year. As we've said earlier, in the playoffs for the first time since 2009. Let's give this team credit. They're in a tough league. That league is to get out of that league and make the playoffs is something special.
And it is good to know that wife Sarah, who is suffering from lymphoma, was able to make the trip, Hodgkin's lymphoma. And again, our prayers and our best to her, as well as the entire Hill family.
Yeah, I think we'll both pull for Jay and his team after being with them. I think they're a class program, and I think Weber State's very lucky to have him.
Agreed. About a minute to go. Seconds left. So we're about to put a button on this one. Your favorite formation as a coach?
Favorite playing football right here as a head coach. You just want it to be your team doing it.
Yeah.
Not the other one.
And that will do it. Russ Huseman moving on to the second round as he did last year. And Jay Hill's team, despite some improvement over last year, headed out.
2 good football coaches right there. Both programs lucky to have them. And Russ has done a great job with UTC, as we've said all day long, too. Eight solid years. And he came in when the program was not winning games at all. Has totally changed the culture of Chattanooga football.
Coming up next, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Central, ESPN 3. Cal Poly at 7-4, San Diego at 9-1. Coach, any closing remarks on this one?
Just been fun working with you. We've had a blast, had a beautiful day. College football's fun.
Oh, it's a pleasure, and look forward to your call next week with Sam, Houston State, and the Mocs. For Watson Brown, Jim Barber, so long from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Again, our final score, 45-14, the Mocs.